for America. She is the group's leader and wife and mother. And she has 3 biological sons, 1 adopted daughter, and additional mentored and former foster children who lovingly count her as their mom. Dawn is blessed with 10 grandchildren between them all. Wonderful. She worked as a social worker for over 20 years, and before becoming a homeschool mom and community advocate. Dawn has a passion for holding schools and other systems accountable. She has participated in lobbying at the state capitol and countless rallies for parents and caregiver rights. Please welcome Dawn Wells.
It's nice to be around so many friends and my family who's here at the table with me. As she said, this is me, Dawn Wells, group leader for Central Valley Moms for America. We meet in Fresno on Tulare and T Street once a month. Everybody should have a flyer. There's a QR code on there that takes you to our Facebook page.
You want to hold it?
All right. And my sister, Dory, is going to be in charge of the slideshow. So next slide, Dory. All right, these are my kiddos, just so I can prove I'm a mom, right? Next. These are my grandbabies. So I'm in the grandma club too. I go with Nana because I'm not old. And here's a picture of some of the caregiver rights rallies that I've gone to with California Alliance of Caregivers, and that's fighting for rights of foster and adoptive parents. So this is we're going to stay on this slide for a minute. Moms for America. So Moms for America's goal is to empower moms, promote liberty, and raise patriots. You can find out a lot on the website, momsforamerica.us. There is a ton of information there. They have classes that you can take on Zoom. They have cottage meetings that you can watch at your leisure. They have a podcast. They do endorsements of candidates through Moms for America Action. Their mission is to empower moms to raise patriots and promote liberty for the healing of America. Their vision is to build a national movement of moms to promote the principles of liberty, to restore the republic, and create a culture of truth, family, and freedom in our homes and communities. They believe that liberty begins at home. And what better place to talk about that than here, right? So their motto is adore God, reverence and cherish your parents, love your neighbor as yourself, and country more than yourself, which is a quote from Thomas Jefferson. And I have my daddy here today. I only have one parent left, so he's very precious to me, and I definitely cherish him. You can find the podcast on pretty much any platform. I like to watch it on Rumble, but pick whichever one works for you. They have a great interview with President Trump on there, if you want to catch that. Next slide. And this is a little video we're going to show. So.
The yellow light?
an immortalized fact. The mothers of a nation mold its citizens, develop its character, shape its destiny. The great and noble characters who left their immortal imprint on our nation's history were not fashioned on battlefields or in palaces, but in the cradle and at the fireside. Home is where liberty begins. We cannot expect to have a nation of patriots who love liberty and respect the Constitution if we are not raising these patriots in our homes. While others will try to convince us that the most important things we can do to save America and preserve liberty are outside our homes, we know it is what we do inside our home that has the greatest influence on our nation. The greatest act of patriotism a mother can ever perform will be within the walls of her own home. We don't need more government. We need more women of virtue, women of faith who will cultivate a foundation of faith in the hearts of their children, women of courage who will be ambassadors of truth, who will defend and protect the family at all costs. We need women infused with patriotism who will teach and nurture principles of liberty and virtue our nation was founded on, women who will foster a deep love and respect for our beloved America and all she stands for. We need an army of mothers who will raise a nation of patriots. That is how we will save our beloved America, by growing stronger citizens, citizens who cannot be oppressed, who are capable of facing tough challenges, citizens who are still in love with liberty, know its cost, and are willing to pay the price. America will stand, because America is bigger than a government. It is American families united in purpose, filled with the spirit of freedom. It is the spirit of the people that makes America free. The plane full of patriots that went down in the Pennsylvania field. The firefighters who walked into a crumbling building when everyone else was running out. The men and women sleeping in tents in 100-degree heat in Iraq and Afghanistan. It is the mothers teaching their children, the small business owners fighting for their dream, and the children who place their hands over their hearts to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Liberty begins at home, and there's no place like home to restore hope in America. As mothers, we have a divine inherent right to protect, nurture, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our children. Hope for America is reflected in our vision of the future. You and I, we hold the keys. We are the keepers of the flame. We must do everything in our power to pass on that flame, make sure it burns bright, and that it continues to be a light on the hill and a beacon of hope to the world. We are the hope of America. We are the last line of defense between freedom and servitude. What we know and what we nurture in the hearts of our children will literally determine the fate of the free world. We can no longer stand on the sidelines. The future of America is in our hands. There is hope for America, and it is you.
All right, next slide. Let's see. I don't want to watch it again.
There we go.
That message was from the founder, Kimberly Fletcher, who founded Moms for America in 2004. And she's been fighting real hard since then. The core beliefs of Moms for America is we believe in God-given rights. We believe that rights that are proclaimed in the Declaration of Independence and the preamble of the Constitution are inconvertible, such as the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, which includes private property, and by preserving and protecting the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, and all that's the best way to preserve our own liberty. So we value personal responsibility, so that is self-governance. So we are for small, big government, right? So we want that to be tiny, real tiny. It's kind of big right now. We believe love is strong. We celebrate the intrinsic dignity of each member of the human race and honor that he or she is created in the image of God.
Thank you.
We value freedom. We believe it's the foundation for a good society. And as such, we are actively studying and applying freedom principles and promoting the truth of our liberty-loving heritage. So we talk a lot about the Constitution, the Founding Fathers, and we believe that freedoms are maintained through engaged citizens who inspire good leadership. We ask people to run for school board, run for office. One of my friends is a school board member here today. So if you need help learning about running for school board, they have trainings. They have trainings for people that are ready or on school boards. We also value the family, of course. This is a family organization. We celebrate the various educational platforms, so people's right to choose what kind of education they want their child to have. And we affirm that the home is the best place to instill love and understanding of liberty. So it's very important that those values are taught at home. And the last one is we believe in parental rights. That's a big topic here in California because our parental rights are being eroded. Next slide. All right, so on the Moms for America website, this is a little bit of what you will find. So there is a podcast. This particular slide shows Thomas Renz as the speaker on the podcast. There was a webinar on human trafficking. And then there's the FCC standard bill. So that's something that was passed in Texas and they're trying to bring it to all the states. Basically, it means the things that you can't say on TV, the things you can't say on the radio, you wouldn't be able to say in school or have, available in the public library to children. So that's something we've been working on here locally and would fit well with our values in the Central Valley. So we're working on finding legislators who want to take that on and bring it. It would be hard here in California, so we're going to have to figure our way around that. Next slide. They have a weekly newsletter. This is an example of the weekly newsletter. Woman face, the new black face, right? So us women, there's a lot of us here today, we don't really want men to go around saying that they're women because that really erodes our rights. And it's not true. We don't like liars. And it really sucks when it comes to sporting events because their bodies are way different than ours. And I certainly wouldn't want to go against my dad in a race, like he has way more muscles than I do, even in his 80s. The other thing they do is they attack moms and they call us birthing women or birthing people and all kinds of crazy things, and they want to erode parental rights so that we can't help our children and guide them as they're growing up, which is just tragic, right? Next slide. Okay, this is an example of one of our events, Momsgiving, which we had Monday of last week before Thanksgiving. And we had a nice smorgasbord of delicious food to share with everyone. That was when I learned my dad was in the hospital. And because when I showed up at his building, he wasn't there. And so my sister was there, and she called around and figured out where Dad was while I was setting up all the meal and the preparations. So next slide. This one is another example of one of our outings. You'll see Patty there. We were handing out flags at the Veterans Day Parade. I think it was probably several hundred flags that we handed out.
It was a great turnout.
And we were
Community showed up.
practically jogging back to the truck because we fell way behind. I think we made it we were in the 4th division and we made it all the way to the 5th division by the time we were done. But we had a great time and we met a lot of families. Next slide. Here's an example of a very important event to attend. I encourage everybody to attend school board meetings. Right, this one was the one in Clovis for parental rights, and I went to one in Bass Lake, same topic. So that's definitely a hot topic nowadays. So please get engaged and go to your school board meetings because there's always things going on that you don't know about that you should educate yourself about. This one is the Great American Freedom Revival. that was here in Clovis. That was where we had our first booth when we were just getting started. And that was a fantastic event. We really enjoyed it. Next slide. This event we had in Oakhurst. And it was an online event, genderconfusionevent.com. It was a collaboration with the Epoch Times. But we showed it live in a church in Oakhurst so that the community would be aware of what's happening in the school system. This particular documentary covers a California mother's story. She had a child who at school was transitioned behind her back. When she didn't affirm that, the child was removed from her care and put in foster care in a group home. They started that child on puberty blockers, and the child committed suicide by walking in front of a train. So that's a really hard way to learn a lesson, right? That this is toxic for our children, and it kills them. So we have to intervene. There's no choice. And so Moms for America collaborated with the Epoch Times, and they came up with this gender confusion booklet that you can download online if you have anybody in your family that's going through that. Also, it's helpful to educate your children before as a preventative so that they know what's going on. So there's a guide for parents. They also had a great training on how to choose a therapist. So if you have a child who's going through mental health issues, you want to find the right type of therapist who's not going to do that affirming care. I mean, you wouldn't say, oh, you're having suicidal ideation? Let's affirm that. That's insane. Like, why would you affirm somebody's toxic thoughts? So we don't want to do that. Next slide. This is an example of an event we had with the Madera GOP, where the founder, Kimberly Fletcher, and her daughter came and spoke. And we also paired it with Denise Aguilar. And the things that we talked about were parental rights and liberty and all the good stuff that we're talking about today. Next slide. So the same day we had our first meeting, there was a great big rally in Sacramento. So why not do both, right? Sophia and I drove up to Sacramento that morning, and we held the great big Stop Targeting Children sign, and we talked to all the cool kids up there, and then we drove back and had our very first Moms for America meeting. So it was quite the day, but we did get to meet Sonia Shaw, and we got to be there fighting for parental rights, and we want to build an army so that next time we go, it's not just the two of us, that we have a whole big team of moms ready to fight for parental rights. Next slide. So some of the things that we offer are guides. They are free to print out at home, or you can order them, and I think they're like $5 or something. So parental rights is of course one of them. There's one for grandmas, and then there's one on critical race theory. They're filled with fantastic information for anybody who wants to know more about those topics. Next slide. So what we do locally is cottage meetings. So these are the 12 topics that we're covering in our first year of cottage meetings. Our next topic is ladies first. So we've gone over the first two. And we'd love to have you join us. That is available the third Monday at 6 p.m. here in Fresno on Tulare and T Street. Also, all of these cottage meetings are available online if you are afraid of other people. But nobody here seems to have that problem. Next slide. All right, our last meeting, the second one, we covered the pillars of liberty, which are faith, virtue, and patriotism. So that was a great part of our training last month. Also, one of the things Moms for America is really big about is the Declaration of Mothers. They had it read into the congressional record. They liked it so much. And you'll find that on the website. Next slide. Okay, so this is Just a slide to remind you how important you are, that your voice matters, not just the ladies. Guys, your voice matters too. Get out there and talk about the things that are happening. So if something's happening to your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, get out there and make it public, right? So Moms for America, they focus on anything that touches your home. So that's a lot of things. Next slide. So this is something that touched my home recently, is my dad went to the hospital. And so we had to rally as a family to get him out. The Tuesday before Thanksgiving, we found him at Clovis Community tied to the bed, screaming, telling me they're trying to kill me. And they had already given him 1 dose of remdesivir. And it really does kill people, but you know, the hospital, they think if you say they're trying to kill me, that you must be crazy, right? But that's not crazy, because how many people die there every day? That's insane to think that it's crazy. So my sister, Bonnie, had COVID back in 2021. And she was treated with 5 doses of remdesivir, but she's still here.
Thank God.
To tell the tale. And so the first thing she did was tell that hospital, don't you dare give my dad any more remdesivir. And they stopped because she had lived experience that she could share with them. And so he only got the 1 dose. We showed up, we got him untied, and he was home in time for Thanksgiving. Yeah. So, educate yourself, advocate. I mean, we're examples of that, but everybody here can do that. To educate and advocate is so important. Next slide. And here's another short video. Press the button.
Our greatest gift is our children. Our biggest blessing is our freedom. Our toughest battle right now is preserving America. Patriotism is under attack. The liberal culture has decided that America is no longer great, that celebrating our country is offensive, and being a patriot is no longer admirable or worthy. Well, we are changing that. We as mothers are flipping the script and restoring patriotism in our homes, our schools, and in our country. Moms for America is releasing a national campaign to restore patriotism, a movement to celebrate and honor our amazing country. We know that the future generations must carry the torch of freedom and defend the principles of liberty. That is why we are providing amazing resources to restore and renew a patriot heart. We are making it easy to turn your home red, white, and blue with Patriot Packs for your kids, American Heritage books, Liberty trips for your family, and various mentorship programs for moms, kids, and families. Our children must know why we stand for the anthem, why we kneel and pray, why we pledge allegiance to our country, and what makes America exceptional. Moms, please join us as we change the culture and restore patriotism, one home at a time.
We also have t-shirts for the ladies that are a $20 donation. They run a little small, so we only have large, extra large, and 2X. Here is the recent endorsement of President Trump, which I'm really excited about. I also did a podcast with him. And then in the middle, you can see just a little information about how you can contact them if you know somebody running for office that needs an endorsement. And that's through Moms for America Action, which is a separate entity that does endorsements. So next slide. This is just a quote I found that I really, really liked. Very few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its maximum hour of danger. This is that moment, and you are that generation. Now is the time to defend our freedoms. Judge Andrew Napolitano. And here's the QR code that will take you to our Facebook page. So we have Central Valley Moms for America. It's a group on Facebook. That's where we communicate for the most part. And we post our flyers for our upcoming events. Next slide. This is our next fun event that we're doing in Oakhurst. We're having a Christmas event, and there's going to be singing and a potluck and a very important speaker by the name of Erin Friday. And she's big in the detransitioning movement and in the parental rights movement. She was featured in the movie Gender Transformation. And she's been in a few of the other detransitioning movies, so she will be there to talk to us about a new petition. And next slide.
Erin Friday will be at the Clay Clark event in December, and she needs volunteers.
Yes, I am volunteering with Erin Friday during the Clay Clark event, and she needs, I think, about 1 or 2 more people to help. And then this is just the time for questions. Yes.
Is all that information that we just watched on that website?
There's tons of information on the website, yes. Just not the personal stuff. But we do have an events page for Central Valley Moms for America, and you'll find a lot of pictures from events there. Go ahead.
How do you become a member?
Oh, well, you are welcome to just come to our meetings. There is a way to sign up for Moms for America through the website, and they can send me your information. And that will get you all on their mailing list, so you get all of their emails. There's also on the flyer I handed out a way to text Moms for America and get on their text list. And so I encourage you to look at the flyer, and if you're interested, to sign up that way. Any other questions? Yes.
Are guys allowed to come to the meetings to support the
So
moms?
you are welcome to support us. The only thing we ask of men is don't get out in front of us at the microphone. Because it's awkward if we have guys talking for Moms for America publicly. But privately, we love your support, and you're welcome to join us on any events. My husband helps me a lot. And you're welcome to attend the meetings if you like. Diane.
Are there any upcoming rallies?
Upcoming rallies. Well, I hope there will be a lot of rallies in 2024. I'm not sure of any upcoming ones yet. Yes.
You talked about the transvestite community.
Mm-hmm.
How would you, as a leader, treat or guide a person that came over who was transvestite to your,
So, I mean, are you saying someone who's male who thinks they're a mom?
Yes, and they
So-
come over and they're saying, okay, well, I'm gonna be a mom, so how would you treat
Right.
that?
Moms are inherently female, so you would have to be a female to be considered a mom in Moms for America. We're pretty traditional that way. We don't hate people who have different values than us or have strange ideological beliefs, but we don't encourage them. So I'm not sure if there's a lot of men out there who want to come be part of Moms for America, but if Caitlyn Jenner comes, I'll make sure to have a good talk.
The reason I'm saying it because there's, more and more we have people like them are going into Christian Bible studies.
Right.
And so I asked them, how do you treat that? I mean,
Yeah.
do you keep them there and say, hey, guess what, maybe we can guide you, we can give you scripture, or you just say, guess what, just go away.
Right.
How would you do that?
Yeah. I'm sure that when that happens, we'll cross that bridge. Next question.
One thing men can't do, or women, is we can't change our chromosomes. If you're
That's
born
for sure.
XX, you're still gonna be XX. If you're
Yeah.
XY, you're still gonna be XY.
Yeah.
That, they can do all the operations they want in the world, it doesn't change.
Yeah, we're definitely against
God gave
operations
us
for
those,
children, right?
chromosomes.
Yeah, children are not capable of consenting to operations. Okay, next question.
I was gonna say, women can't be moms without males, right? We have to have a man to procreate and.
Yes, a sperm is required, yes. And we are an organization that loves men so much. You know, we didn't get where we are without the men in our life. You know, my dad is here today. I wouldn't be the woman I am without my dad. You know, it's very important to have that person guiding you who's a strong male in your life. It doesn't have to be a father, but every person growing up needs a strong male in their life for balance. Right?
Yes, correct.
Okay, any other questions?
Where is your dad? Is he here?
Right here.
Oh, right.
Yeah, right in front
All
of
right.
you.
Awesome.
He's got a green hat on.
Okay.
Make sure you congratulate him on having such great daughters. There's 4 of us here today. The ones who are not here are great too, but we're the best. And you came. Any other questions? All right. Dad, is there anything you want to say before we end our show?
Well, there's not. I think you covered it pretty well. But like I said, I endorse everything you have said. The one thing that you might reinforce is that we are stronger together than we are apart. And that's been my motto for many years. And the other one was physician heal thyself.
Thank you guys for your time. I appreciate you. Oh, a closing prayer. Yes. Absolutely. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here together and to learn about liberty that comes from you, God. And we thank you for how you are weaving our stories together to save this nation and all that you are doing in our hearts and our minds and our bodies to make us strong. Thank you, and let the glory be to God. Amen.
Girls.
Patty, come on up. You can introduce.